The ice fishing season is now upon us, and one of the hottest online forum topics is tricking out your fish trap, customizing your fish house, and adding accessories to make you more comfortable and efficient on the ice. The options and ingenuity are endless. How you customize and personalize your equipment depends on how you plan to fish. Regardless of what species of fish you target, no matter how you transport your fish house, a little bit of creativity and foresight can allow you to catch a lot more fish this winter.
Matt Johnson here with Ice Team, and we're going to talk about ways you can trick out your trap, modifying your portable fish house. So this house in front of me actually happens to be the Jason Mitchell line of houses from Clam Outdoors. You have the Pro Jason Mitchell here, and you also have the Thermal X. And the beauty of these is that if you're looking to get into it, a jumping platform for tricking your trap, these already come with some pretty neat accessories. You got the bait bucket that comes in so you can mount it onto your trap. You got the lighting systems, the sled lights, and then you have the battery bracket so you can position your power source. So if you're looking to get into it right off the bat, a good starting point is one of these Jason Mitchell houses from Clam Outdoors. Now that we've talked about some of the entry-level things to get involved, let's talk about some other ways of ways you can trick your trap from things you already have at your house or in your garage. You know, AC adapters, cigarette adapters. Everyone sees them. There's many of them all over the place. Clam actually has one. Otherwise, you probably have one laying in your garage by your work desk. Nice thing about this is now you can plug into a power source that'll charge on one of your Vexilar type batteries. So the beauty of it is with smartphones nowadays. I mean, I'm always looking at my iPhone, whether you're texting buddies about fishing reports, looking at your Navionics application, whatever it might be. So ways to power your smartphone, whether you're taking photos, taking videos. This is actually a tool now for ice anglers. And the beauty of it is with the cigarette adapter, at any convenience store or probably in your garage, you have a little port here, a male end that can plug into there. And now I got a USB adapter to charge these phones, to power these phones, or to use your laptop or anything, any other sort of apparatus that will allow you to use electronics more efficiently. So this is one important tool I think you probably already have already to make yourself more efficient on the ice, to use these type of tools that we already have in our pocket. Most of you watching this, I'm sure, also fish in a boat, or just getting done with the open water season, or putting an end on the cap of that. So one thing I'd encourage you that I do myself is that when the season's done for open water, grab some of the tools you have on your boat, your ram mounts to mount your GPS units. You know, this happens to be a system that I use in my truck. I mount the end of the ram ball on the side of my trap, whatever it might be. So now you have the same tool that you're using out in your boat on your actual fish trap, which is very nice and convenient. Also, my Vexilar flasher, I have it mounted on the Vexilar Pro mount. What I do is on the female end of this, I actually have those bases mounted on my boat, on the dash of my truck, on my trap, and what you do, you can just actually snap that into place. So I took this off the bow of my boat. I'm going to use it in my fish trap so I can use it throughout the entire year. Storage inside your fish trap is also very important. There's ways we can do things to make storage more efficient. In your garage, I happened to grab this out of my garage this morning. It's just a simple milk crate. You probably have a dozen of these sitting around behind the car out in the pole barn. And this is very effective for actually storing things and staying organized, especially as you bounce across the lake. So what I do with these milk crates is I actually will just mount those into a back corner of my fish trap. And now I can store heaters, large 10-pound propane tanks. I can store any sort of other personal belongings, whether it's gloves, hats, tackle boxes. So just a simple milk crate from your garage can be a very important tool as you move into the ice fishing season. Another option here as you look into storage gear for your fish trap is this is the exact same tub you saw in that Jason Mitchell Pro Thermal behind us, but now it has what you see as cargo netting. And we just talked briefly a while ago about taking some of the things out of your boat from open water and using them on the ice. Many of you have these cargo nettings up front by the bow of your boat to store bags of plastics, tackle trays, pliers. Now you can incorporate these into your fish trap, and you can see it's mounted on the back here. So 1-pound propane cylinders, jig boxes, gloves, anything of the sorts will work. It's become so popular, this is actually an item in the Clam lineup as they've seen the advantageous use of it for ice anglers. So another way to store some of your gear in your fish trap as you're running around and being mobile on the ice. One of the questions I often have people ask themselves before they start to really get embellished with modifying their fish house or tricking their trap would be is how are you using it? Are you pulling it by hand? ATV, snowmobile, because that can make a very important difference between how you get involved with tricking out some of these things. And the reason I say that is if you're pulling by hand, you want to keep it lightweight. Some of the things we talked about as far as adding buckets, easy mounts for Vexilar systems, maybe adding a milk crate to keep things light is very important as you're being mobile pulling around by hand. But if you're going to hook it behind a snowmobile or an ATV, now you can get a little more heavy, and actually as you add more weight, it'll actually make it slide better. And some of the things that we do to trick these things out, if you don't care about weight, is adding wood compartments. So you can actually build entire system inside your tub, draw it out. I've seen engineers draw CAD programs, all these things to really trick their traps. So you can add a lot of weight to these if you choose to make it very more efficient. A couple other options for tricking out your trap, things you probably have at home, is that what I do is I will actually just stop and look at any sort of carpet remnants I have laying around the house, because carpet, what it does is it insulates. So we've talked about adding batteries, electronics to your fish trap. What you want to do is put carpet underneath, so whether you line the bottom of your fish trap tub with carpet or not, so your battery is compressed and it actually retains some of its heat, is very important. On top of that, lighting systems. There's many ways we can go about adding lights. You saw the sled lights that come with the Jason Mitchell line of shelters. Otherwise, if you go to most hardware stores, you can buy a rope light by the foot. What you do is you spool out enough rope, you can wrap it around your post, tie it into a Vexilar battery or whatever sort of power source you're using to add light. Again, this is Matt Johnson with Ice Team. I've showed you a lot of things today, but it only touches the tip of the iceberg. The message here is be creative. Get out in your garage if you have a few minutes. Stop out at the pole barn. Look at some of the ways you can trick this stuff out. You probably have things at your fingertips already. But if you have more questions, by all means, stop at Ice Team. There's a set of forums there. There's many topics I already started on tricking out your trap with some very creative and neat ideas that go into heavy detail. So check them out. Otherwise, have fun this winter. Use these things to their fullest and catch more fish.